Okay, recording. So I just wanted to make it like a happy hour, just real quick, what I mean, for you guys. And Jenny, you can come on anytime. Don't be shy. I became a coach 7 years ago, to introduce myself really quick, through a free group. I'm literally someone who joined from a free group. I was following this runner and I was feeling not myself. I was going to the gym. I'm not from here, so I didn't feel included. You go to the gym, but you're just kind of like moseying around, picking up weights. Are you doing the right form kind of thing? But then also my kids were getting into high school and I was feeling like I just wanted something more, you know what I mean, out of life, you know what I mean? And I just didn't have the will to go to college. I mean, I've tried so many times and I'm quitting so many times, just life, layoff, moving, all that. And I was like, sure, why not? You know what I mean? She didn't even put any kind of transformation. She just said, I'm hosting a 5-day free group. Would you like to join? We're going to do fitness. And her workouts were from like Pinterest, you know what I mean? But I kind of knew she was a coach. I didn't know nothing about the business. And so I kind of followed her page because someone else was following. I was like, hey, check out this page. I'm like, okay. So you kind of just do that, right? When you're on Facebook, you just follow pages, you like tips and tricks and stuff. That's how I joined. I became a coach. So if you ever want to do a free group, I just created a free group on the Bot app, and I sent like my client lists and my coaches got the invite. You just change it up. You can do a free group on Facebook or Bot group. That's how I'm joined. I'm literally as a product of a free group. And I ended up signing up to be a coach by the end of the week because I was like, what is this? And then my husband and I fell in love with the infomercial of T25 back when there was no Beachbody on demand. Literally paid $205 for one DVD and bag of Shakeology. There was no meal plan. That's how we've evolved since then. Now we have our lowest pack right now on sale for $140. It includes our entire library, 2 meal plans. Like you what you get now blows my mind because I literally paid, maxed out my credit card, $205, one DVD, and a bag of Shakeology. That's all I got. But you could still, Nadia is smiling, but you can still sign up. Back then, you still, the same thing, sign up to be a coach for free this way. My husband became a coach under me so he can get his own shake. And the LES for him waived the $15 because it's more per household. So he doesn't pay the $15 fee because it's good for veterans. So back then, I just like, my mentor actually quit, or I didn't even know she wasn't working the business. So there's that. So I kind of just learned everything on my own, not knowing I would fall in love with connecting people to the gift. That's it. So I just do this in pockets of time. Literally, I'll just like, before I went to the beach, I just literally zoned in for 2 hours and just, like sent out, like created my bot group, did some invites through my stories. Like I just literally just squeeze it in, like between folding laundry and going to the bathroom. Like, you know what I mean? I just squeeze it in when I can. You know what I mean? I'm just imperfect. I just fail forward, figure out, play around on social. I just, never have no degree, no certification, no nothing. Just fail forward and figure it out. That's it. So I always say you don't, and I try to be like really raw in stories. Like I know that there's some coaches that put all the fancy graphics and have all this crazy stuff on Insta stories. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because I don't want my coaches to feel they have to have that. They have to have the perfect filter and all that. I don't even own a preset. So I just use Snapseed, change mine to light up my face just a little bit, make sure I have good lighting, but I don't do any of the fancy graphics and filters. Everything is free. Canva. When I make my little boards, it looks cheesy. I'm just like, oh, my team shouting them out. That's how I do it. I just try to keep it simple so my coaches know they can keep it simple. So there's that. And all I do is just share my story. So just so you know, like, I know Jenny, you're recovering from an injury, and Nadia, she's overseas. Just be vulnerable. Just share. What I always say is share from a pain point. You know what I mean? Like where you were from, what coaching has done for you, or what has the challenge group done for you, and where you see yourself. So you always want to like pick a pain point, make sure that you are sharing your story and being vulnerable. Like I don't share all the dirty, you know what I mean? There's some dirty stuff going on right now with my family, but I don't share all the dirty, but I do share, like I did lose like the last 20, 30 pounds with Beachbody. And yes, I had a tummy tuck because I had a lot of leftover skin. And yes, I am 45. And yes, I was bankrupt before I was 21. So I try to share like things that like I feel like I found my purpose, you know what I mean? And I just see a bigger vision. And so I always share things like that are pain points where like maybe it will inspire somebody. My thing is I always say you can too. If I can, you can. You know, and that's how I share. And then I do recommend opening your own bod group because at least you have a holding spot for someone, and you never know who's going to wind up on in your bod group. You know what I mean? Like I have maybe one or two people trickle in, but I mean, at least you have that spot because you are given as a brand new coach for the first 3 months, $10 off codes in the beginning. That whole $40 off code, Nadia, you came at the tail end of it. Like it was just one crazy thing. He has never done that in all the years I've coached. He did a BFF code, I forget, January, February, and it was like good until the end of April, I forget. He has never done that in all the years of coach. And then he did the CEO code, and then he did another CEO code. I don't know what his method to the madness. Coupon codes were brand new to us because Beachbody, I guess they're always trying to upgrade the system, you know, tech part. Like the bod group is always evolved. The bod updates are always evolving. So I don't know if he's trying to hurry up and do all the things before we go to the New York Stock Exchange. We're about to go onto the New York Stock Exchange sometime this month. We're about to sell bikes. So I don't know if he was just trying to squeeze in all this stuff before I don't know. He is one smart guy. That's all I know. I follow Carl Deichler. He is so giving and so smart. Like I've won $800 from doing a contest. I've won 2 different times, $200. Like when they say we're doing a contest, they literally do pick you. So as long as you're doing what they're asking them to do. Right now he's running a contest that you're inviting to a bod group, and that you're clicking off the tracker in the back office, that you're doing all the things. Like there's like a little tracker thing. If you guys want me to send you a screenshot, I can. And he's doing that for the next, and he's giving away bikes and like trips and money, and like they really do reward you as long as you're doing the steps. And so that's one thing it's fun. Like the whole $40 off code is fun. If it feels like work, then you're not going to want to do it. And I don't ever feel like I'm selling anything to anyone. I feel like I'm going to work out. It's either if you want to work out with me or not. You know, I never feel like because that's the cool thing about Beachbody. You don't have to have a quota. You don't have to do, I know that like other companies, you know, have to have, I don't know if it's like some of the makeup things you have to sell so many or have like, we don't have to have stock on hand. That's why there's the $15 fee. That pays for like them doing all the shipping and taking care of, like, you know, whenever there's a problem, I give you guys the customer service. Like you can chat with them. Now I've been texting with them. I don't know if you guys use the text feature. It is the bomb. That's new. So when I was trying to get my coupon codes, because some of the stuff I don't get goes to junk mail or I don't get emails. So I've been just texting them. And as long as you do the text in the back office, you'll get a response within a few hours. And it's so convenient because I work a full-time job. So they're just always making things easier all the time so that those like me who have a full-time job can still do Beachbody in pockets of time. So I make sure that I'm answering all the things. And so some of my other leaders are not on here, but 90% of your time should just be really focusing on the invite. And I've done a lot of mistakes by going in management mode when I hit a certain thing. And I'm like, why did I do that? Like people are going to quit, you know, people are going to quit their journey, quit being a coach. And you just have to keep moving forward and see the big vision. And that's what I do all the time. I just keep moving forward, baby steps, and being silly on social is kind of a new thing for me. And doing the reels is new for me. And I've had trainings on the reels, and I can do another training on the reels, but I don't know, I just believe in what I do. And when you love it, it's just, you just keep, that's what I do. And I read personal development, I drink my shake, I do my workout. I share my story, and that's basically the vital behaviors, and just invite. And I know that I've had people say no to me 10 times, and all of a sudden they're like, they're ready. So, and then I had people quit and then come back. Like I had several people come back because of the code, you know what I mean? So you're going to have people quit, fall off, ghosted. Even my own challengers ghost me. You know what I mean? I'm just checking in. Like, I'm just a friend. I'm checking in. How's your journey going? They don't message me back. And I'm just like, I'm human. Like, I'm not like your boss, or like, I'm going to be like, you're not eating the right way or whatever. You know, like, even my own challengers and coaches ghost me. I mean, I'm not a machine. I'm not like, right, giving you written warning, you know what I mean? So it happens. You get ghosted, you get, you know, people are people, and I have to remind myself all the time. So, but I have motions, you know what I mean? Of course it hurts, it stings, you know what I mean? When they're your challenger, you sign them up and then they quit. They said it's too hard. You know, I've had people, you know, don't like Autumn, don't like, you know, Joel, you know, he's not for me. I had people quit a 9-week control freak, made me super sad. But I mean, you have to only, as a coach and a mentor, you can only pull so many, what's that, drink the water. You can't force them to drink the water. You know what I mean? You just have to just meet them halfway. And so that's it. I think did I answer all the questions? Jenny is like first time doing like a call like this. Nadia, did you have questions? I just want to make it super simple so that you guys know it's pretty simple as long as you just have that vision.
You already answered my question
I did?
in the private message. And
Oh, okay.
yes.
So what I do is I don't require someone to like buy the biggest bundle to join, but they have to at least have something. Because I find if you know, I'm just gonna, Shalene Johnson, I follow her. And Brock Johnson. Their family's amazing. I've been learning all the reels from them and all that. And she gave away one time or a couple of times a free membership to her marketing Inc. back. I want to be able to afford it. I want to be able to afford it. She gave it away as like a gift, like a drawing, and they never used it. And I was like, damn, it's like a couple of $1,000s. Like I would have used it. But she says when you give stuff away for free, they tend to not do anything with it. But when you have them invest in something, they have more skin in the game. So I always just like, and that's the great thing about the BOD group is not everybody has Instagram or Facebook. And believe it or not, some of my clients that come in, like I talk to them on WhatsApp because they don't have Facebook or Instagram. So I add them to the BOD group. And that's the cool thing because the BOD group is new. That's only been like a year or two, or even less than that. Because Beachbody, they don't have any control of Facebook. It could be immediately shut down tomorrow, and then where all the groups go. So they always have, now they have a holding spot. And I know sometimes the BOD group is kind of sluggish and stuff. They're doing their best to try to keep upgrading it. That live feature, you can now go live in it. That's new. And they never was, that's like within the last 3 months. So they're trying to make it similar as much as they can to what people know, which is Facebook. But they don't have any control. They can literally shut down everybody's account and you'll lose all email contacts. You'll lose, you know what I mean? That's why the BOD group is really awesome because it has the email, you can go live, they can upload their stats, their progress photos. You can see when they're logging their workouts or their shake or whatever that they have. So I always at least have Beachbody on Demand, or even if they just get the quarterly, although they did raise the quarterly. So I always say get the year one, it's better because the quarterly now is like 60 versus 99 for the 1 year. So because I was on this other team call. And what I say about team call is make it matter. The national wake up call is Monday. Even if you listen to the recording, it's on the podcast app. Or it's even saved on tbb.com, tbb411 on Facebook, and you can always rewatch it. But it's every Monday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern time. We have the Superstar Diamond Call, which is 8:30 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday. This is new for me doing the new coach call just because I try not to overwhelm everybody showing up to all the calls. But lately people have been wanting it, plus like maybe that connection, and like, you know, we're also growing, which is, I'm super thankful. But I don't want people to think they have to do all this training to start. You don't have to do any, like, do this training, do that training, watch this call. I want you just to start before you're ready. So that's all we say, start before ready. Start sharing your journey on social, you know, talk about like, I've struggled with this, but I'm so excited because I've overcome this. And it doesn't have to be some epic transformation, but like, just talk about how you're feeling, where you were then, where you are now, where you're going. This is my plan. So I always talk about, this is my plan, I'm going, I'm always a message away. Always have some sort of call to action at the bottom. And I know for you, Jenny, you're recovering from an injury, you can just be like, I'm setting up a all nutrition group. Does anyone, you know what I mean? Because To Be Mindset is, one thing I love about Alana, make sure you follow her on Instagram because that's the meal plan I'm following. She is heavily nutrition focused and fitness is just a bonus. You can literally lose weight on To Be Mindset as long as you're following the principles. And then the fitness is just a bonus. And so that's what I love about that program. UPF is amazing too, if you really need to like narrow down your containers, but I don't like to think about food. And for me, UPF is more food focused, and I rather like about, it's kind of macro based basically. Even though you don't have to calculate, like do the 40, 30, 30. It's basically is 40, 30, 30, like when you do your BMR and all that. But now she just has you measure in the containers. And some people need that, but I don't. I like to be able to know how to plate my food, like, okay, mostly veggies for dinner, a little bit of protein. So I like that. And I know how to order out when I go out to eat, which is the cool part. So I think it's really good for people who, you know, that are like out and about often, work, you know, travel for work, or even for me working a crazy call center life. It's just more convenient for me. So you just have to like talk to your clients and ask them, are you, you know, ask them what their work schedule like, what kind of physical limitations do you have? Do you have access to Wi-Fi? You get to know them first before telling them, like, I used to word vomit Beachbody, and it used to be like the messages that I would send out. I'm like, oh God, why did I do that? But you kind of like learn and fell forward. Now I'm just like, hey, like, thank you for following me. Like, are we in a group together? I kind of keep it simple now. Before I'm just like, my Facebook memories, and when I go back to my DMs, I'm like, oh gosh, I vomited, like word vomit, like our programs. And I'm so glad I've learned. But it's okay. You can go back to those people like, I'm so sorry, girl. Like, I'm so sorry I didn't keep it simple. It's really just like this. And just so you know, we have a free workout list that you can send them. And they don't even have to have a membership. Like a list, like a sample, like we have several samples, like MMM 100, even Sean's program. All they have to do is go to the Beachbody on Demand and then click on whatever the program is, and there's a sample without having the membership. So if you guys need me to send you the link, I can, but it's like a list of workouts with free workouts that they can try to see which one they like before picking out a program for them. So that's really awesome too. Okay, where are we at? 5:22, I'm doing good. Did you guys have any questions for me?
Like we can invite people to the BOP group that they want, like if they want to join, but they're not sure yet.
You can. I think it's going to make them create a team. It's going to make them create an account. When you send them the invite, it may make them create an account, which is free. They can be a free customer under you, and then you can send them the workouts to try. Like tell them to go to the Beachbody on Demand and click on whatever workout, and there's a sample on the outside of the paywall where they don't have to pay. Let me see if I can screen share. Let me show you. Don't mind my desktop because it's all over the place. I'm not a type A person. So when you go to Beachbody on Demand, can you guys see this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. let me see, let me log out because I'm logged in. Okay. So when you click on programs, and then, sorry, y'all, my computer. So if you click on Let's Get Up, it should be here, hold on. There it is. They don't even have to have a member. Oh, it's making, oh, they have to have a free account. See, no credit card required to have a free account. They just have to have a free account. That's it. And then once they create the free account, they can click on the sample. And that's how they can get into your bot group. Does that make sense?
Mhm. Yep.
See, it's letting you press play. If you click on this, these are lock. You see how it says lock? Because it's not a free sample.
Gotcha.
You have to pay. So I'll give you another example. But yeah, they have to have at least a free account under, which is good because then you can create your little like email list in your back office, you know?
Mhm.
And then I think now we Control Freak also has a sample. They all have, the more newer ones have samples. Let me see. Or did they not for that one? Oh yeah, it's right there. See? There's no lock on it. Do you see that?
Mhm.
So under the start here, basically, sample workout. So as long as they create a free account under you, and they don't have to, and then you guys saw, it says no credit card required, sign up for a free account. And then they just have to have your coach ID to make sure that they go under you. But yeah, you can add them to your bod group. And like I said, it's a great idea because of the fact that that you'll start creating people in your back office. Just make sure that your free account, your bod group is set to unlimited, because I've had it where I accidentally like, oops, and then forgot, and then I had to reopen a brand new bod group. So make sure that you set it to no end date, basically. I don't really do like a May group and then a June group and a July group. I used to. If you want to do it that way, you can. I used to do it that way, but I lost people because then they have to reload their information and all that. And I used to do that all the time, but now I just keep an ongoing group on both Facebook and on the app. And the reason why I have the two is because some people just don't want to get on the app. And then there's some people who don't have Facebook. So I have them both and I invite them to both. But they have to, at least with the Facebook group, I feel like it's more special. So I try to make sure that they do have a program. The bot group, I kind of just leave it. Okay, you want to join the bot group? You know, I mean, you just have to have, you can try the on demand for 30 days and you can join my bot group. Because for 2 weeks, they can be on the free trial for 2 weeks for Beachbody on demand and try all the things. The only thing bad about that though is that you have to like keep watch on the date, because they will charge on that 14th day for the quarterly or the 6 months, whatever. So I always like, I'm not a huge fan of sending them the free trial, because then you got to do the whole upgrade thing. But you can, if that works for you. If that works for you. And now Nadia, you know, if you even just get Beachbody on demand by itself, you get a 40% commission on it. On Beachbody on demand for when they get the 1 year, it's 100, you get $40 for it. It's crazy, the income potential. And of course the challenge packs, the amount of the challenge packs is based on what size of the challenge pack that they get, but you get 25% commission on anything in our store. You also get the 25% discount on anything on our store. If you have to pause your shake because you're new and you're trying to build your customers or whatever, you can. I just do recommend after a while, like when you've built that commission stuff, definitely get back on it, because you want to be a proof of the product. You know what I mean? You have to be doing, that's why you always see me doing every single launch, because you want to be proof of the product, basically. I don't say you have to be on Energize and Recover and all the things. If you rather just be on Energize and Recover, then just do that bundle. If you'd rather just be on Shakeology, do that bundle. Or, you know, I have my husband, he's on Shakeology, or like my daughter is a coach, and so is my son, you know what I mean? So I have different things coming in. And my husband, the first goal as a brand new coach is get to Emerald as soon as possible, which is you plus 2 people. It can be you and your mom and your dad. It can be you and your best friend and your mom. And it can be you and your husband and your best friend to get to that first rank, because it's kind of like an awesome recognition. You know what I mean? Like, oh, she's serious. She got to Emerald. Like, it's kind of like I came home one day, and this is after my mentor quit. Like, she literally quit. So I learned everything on my own. But I have Lindsay stay, but she's like my great grandma coach. And so you guys have me, like I'm here, ride or die, like I'm not going anywhere. But so I kind of failed forward, and I was always sneaking into her trainings, and she was like, who are you? I'm like way down here, you know what I mean? So now like I really work hard to try to get to her retreats and stuff. But she's like, just go home and ask your spouse. Like, she was like, will you support me? And so one day I came home and I didn't have the money, and I'm like, will you be my first coach? I need to get to Emerald. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So now he's still my coach. but he drinks Shakeology. We talk about all the time. Like, he got off high blood pressure medicine because he did C25. He's drinking a shake. I could barely, and that's my story. And we all have a story. Jenny has a story. Nadia, I don't know your full story yet. But that's our story. He was on high blood pressure medicine, and I could not get him to the gym, barely, like twice a week, because, you know, you get home from work, it's 4 o'clock. I'm like, oh, I got to take off all my clothes, put my clothes back on, and then go back to the gym. We waste time, we waste gas, we waste energy. By the time you get to the gym, like, oh, I'm here now. You know what I mean? And I always talk about that. Like, so it just blows my mind. And Orange Theory down the street, $150 a month. It blows my mind people will pay for that. Like, it's just like, it blows my mind people will pay for that. So that's our story. And he got off high blood pressure medicine, and his mom passed from diabetes, and her like 57 or 58. You know, his dad had it. My dad has it. It's in my genetics. We're working hard. My husband, we're good. He just had his checkup. He's still good. No high blood pressure medicine. You know what I mean? So I just always talk about that journey. And so just share your journey, and don't be afraid to talk to people. I'm afraid too. I was afraid to message Jenny. I was afraid to message Nadia. But I messaged them anyway. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid. Just, they're human. We're human. You're going to get in the beginning, like, that's weird. Oh, no, I do my own thing. I can't tell you 7 years later how many no's I've gotten and how many yeses I've gotten after they said no to me so many times. So, all right, 5:32. Are we good? Did it help a little bit, Jenny?
You mentioned like the packages, and I'm not using everything. So I'm using the Shakeology and the, I don't know, the pre-workout, the lemon, but I have a recovery stuff that I've been receiving, and I have like 3 jugs of them. Is there a way just to get more like Shakeology, or like in the package deals, like my like week or monthly subscription?
Did you already call them? Did you already call them to cancel?
I just,
Let me give, can you write this down?
I don't have a pen, but you sent it to me before. You don't have to worry about it, but is there a different package deal? So I just didn't know if I was required as a membership.
No, I mean, you can cancel it. I mean, that's fine. Yeah.
What do you mean? Can't, like, just cancel the?
Just cancel the recover and energize. Yeah. Or yeah. There's
so I can get the other stuff. I just didn't know what was required to be a coach.
No. So that's what I was telling Nadia in the beginning. Like, if you have to pause, like, because you need to save money, you want to build your commission and all that, I do recommend later on, like, if you're like, you know, okay, I got a couple of people, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why the invite is so important. Sharing your journey right away is so important. But if you have to in the beginning, it's okay. Like,
Or do some coaches do like they order a bunch and like get different flavors and then order a couple months later? Do anyone does that instead of being on like a monthly thing?
the ones that are actively working it, they keep it on home direct, but they're actually drinking it every single day. Like I drink my Energize every day, my Recover, I mix it with my shake every day. I kind of do both every day. If the Shakeology is a 30-day bag, so if you're drinking it every day, you shouldn't have leftover. Recover
Kind of started late.
is 20 servings. But Recover is like, if you're working really hard, it helps with muscle record. It has like pomegranate and all kinds of things that helps you with your muscle recovery. Because some people get super sore, especially in the beginning, or especially on the weight training ones. And then Energize is for those. I literally drink Energize to get on this call. Like, let's be honest. So like, it's really, like
it.
You do?
Yeah, I do drink it. I just recently in the last couple of weeks, but at Shakeology I've been doing it, and then I added Energize.
I think Nani was asking me the same thing, the minimum 90 PV. If you just need to just do 90 PV is Shakeology. That's it. So if you just want to like pause everything else, you totally can call them. Like my sister-in-law signed up and she was like, I have to call and cancel the thing. I'm like, but what are they going to say to me? I said, what are they going to say to you? Just cancel it. It's okay. She's not a coach though. She only got the 140 and I gave her the coupon code. So she signed up. I was like, you need to do this now because I don't think he's ever going to do it again. And she's like, okay. She goes, oh, I want the lemon and the Recover. I'm like, she goes, I said, I'll give you the phone number. You know, when it gets delivered, just call and cancel. It's not like a stressful thing. You know, I was just giving my sister-in-law a hard
It's
time.
intimidating sometimes because I just didn't know if I was required to
No.
to be a coach.
No. I do, of course, Shakeology is 90 PV. Like, if you need to like drop down to like something that's 50 PV because you're the bare minimum, but to be like Emerald and getting leads, but you're not an Emerald yet. Emerald is you plus 2 people, and that's your first rank. And so then yes, that definitely would want to be on the 90 PV. And then if you ends up at 1099, you get to write off, like I get to write, I didn't want to mention it because I don't want to overwhelm anybody, but you can write off your shake. You can write off like your internet, like you can write off, definitely work with your CPA, like someone who's very familiar with that. But when you're a coach, you can write off your initial pack. You can write off the $16 fee. You can write off your shake. Like if you're traveling or having a dinner conversation with someone about Beachbody, you can write off that. Like it's pretty awesome as far as that. Just so you guys know in advance, if you end up working, you can write off certain things because the terminology is what was told me. What seems ordinary, like your shake, is necessary because of the fact that you're an Emerald coach or whatever rank you are, or that you're actually working the business and getting commission. It's because you're being the proof of the product. So does that make sense?
Thanks. I have one more question. There's
another ask.
There's another product. Sorry. There's another product that there's out there and I've been watching it. You might have mentioned it or someone else. Is it Bevy? B-E-V-Y?
Oh my gosh.
What flavor do you recommend for a starter?
The Bevy, the new one, it's focused Bevy. That just came out like 2 weeks ago. It is the bomb. Oh my gosh. I'm going to pause the other Bevy and not get that one anymore. So Bevy is like helps with craving and stuff. You're supposed to drink it like 30 minutes before your meal and that you won't be hungry. Like after you eat your meal, you still have to eat. Like it's not like skip a meal, but it's like, you know what I mean? But the Bevy focused, oh my gosh, so good. I drink it before my second shift and it like keeps like the hunger away, and it's like it's Bevy focused. So you're like, oh, okay, So I'm like taking calls. I'm like, oh man, I'm alert. So yeah.
Is that the flavor focus or is that just a different like type?
It's Bevy, it's the most recent one. You'll see when you log into the store and you go under nutritionals, it's the Bevy Focused. I think that's what it's called.
Punch?
Hold on, it's pomegranate. There's only one flavor. It's pomegranate. Hold on. Let me do screen share. It's brand new. That's why I can't remember the name exactly. But it's hold on. Oh, there it is. Bevy Energy. Focused Energy Bevy. That's what it is. You see it?
Mm-hmm. I do. You
So
said the
these two,
pomegranate?
yeah. Yeah. And it's very filling. Like after I drink it, I'm like, ooh, I'm so full. Like, and that was the purpose. That's what Bevy is a purpose for. But it's like, I'm like alert, like my second shift, I'm like, okay, let's do this. Let's take these calls, you know? And so, yeah, it's awesome. These two, some people like the pomegranate over the lemon. I like the lemon over the pomegranate. The lemon tastes like tea to me. So these are like same thing, what this one does, except this one has energy in it. So hold on. Was there any other questions you guys have? Did that make sense, Jenny?
Mhm.
Okay. Don't be shy. You can ask me anything. Nadia, did you have any more questions?
Yes, always about the PV. There's still 0 in my account. Is that normal?
Oh. Oh shoot, it won't let me minimize. I'd have to look.
Okay.
It won't let me minimize. It's probably because it's a brand new month and you signed up in April.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I'll look at it again. But don't stress out because you just signed up, and as long as your shake ships before the end of May, you'll be fine. Because it's basically you want your shake to ship within the 30 days, or
Okay.
you know, if that's your product of choice, is 90 PV is Shakeology. As long like mine is set to ship at the end of the month. So like as long as I get the shipping thing, or sometimes I notice like at 31st I moved it up to the 27th. I forget what day I have it shipped. As long as it ships within that 30-day time frame, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when it will ship on the 30th, 31st of May, I'm lost right now. It's late.
Yeah, from the 1st to the 31st, as long as it ships within that 30 days, you're fine.
Mhm.
So if you're
Okay.
like kind of like worried, you can move it up to the 29th or the 28th, and you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
Now I understand what you were asking. Any other questions you guys have?
I'm good.
You good? Where you go, Jenny?
Hold on, sorry. I'm good too.
You are? I'm gonna take a picture, you guys, on my story. I'm so happy you guys here. Hold on, let me stop the screen. Let me stop the recording.